If you're in your 40s or 50s and it feels like your body suddenly changed the rules, slower recovery, stubborn belly fat, lighter sleep, and lower energy, you're not imagining it. Midlife is when aging can accelerate, not because you lost discipline, but because several biological systems shift at once. And here's the encouraging part. Your 40s and 50s are also one of the most powerful windows to slow that acceleration and protect your health span. In the next 20 minutes, I'll explain what's happening inside your muscles, metabolism, brain, and blood vessels, and the practical habits that shift those systems in the right direction. What most people get wrong is focusing on one lever, like calories, while ignoring the biology underneath. Stay with me because near the middle of this video, I'll share the single most overlooked daily habit for midlife longevity. One that improves blood sugar, sleep quality, and inflammation without fancy gear or extreme dieting. Aging after 40 often feels sudden because it's not one change. It's several small changes that stack. Muscle slowly declines unless you train it, and that alone can downshift metabolism. Your body handles carbs and stress less smoothly, so blood sugar swings get bigger and cravings get louder. Sleep becomes lighter, which raises hunger hormones and lowers recovery, so workouts feel harder. Add chronic stress, long commutes, and sitting most of the day, and the body starts acting older than the calendar says. If you've noticed you need more caffeine just to feel normal, that's a common clue. What most people get wrong is assuming this is inevitable decline. In reality, midlife is an intervention phase. Studies show that when you adjust the key inputs, movement, nutrition, sleep, and stress recovery, you can slow biological aging and often feel sharper, leaner, and more resilient within weeks, not years. Your calendar age is simple: how many years you've been alive. But your body also has a biological age: how old your metabolism, heart, and brain behave based on daily inputs. Two people can be 50 on paper and look completely different on the inside because biology responds to patterns. Consistent sleep, regular strength training, stable blood sugar, and low chronic inflammation all push biological age in a younger direction. This is why midlife is so important. You still have time for your body to adapt, rebuild, and recalibrate. Think of this decade as a control panel. Small, repeatable actions can lower blood pressure, improve insulin sensitivity, and preserve muscle. And those changes don't just add years, they add better years. Energy for work and family, mobility for travel and hobbies, and mental clarity you can feel day to day, not just on lab results for years ahead. To understand midlife aging, focus on 3 drivers that influence almost everything else: muscle, metabolism, and inflammation. Muscle is your longevity tissue, your reserve for strength, balance, posture, and blood sugar control. Metabolism is how efficiently your body processes fuel and manages insulin after meals and under stress. And inflammation is the background noise that damages blood vessels, joints, and the brain when it stays elevated for years. After 40, these 3 tend to drift in the wrong direction unless you steer them back. The good news is they're connected. More muscle improves metabolism. Better metabolism lowers inflammation, and lower inflammation makes sleep and recovery easier. These are also the same drivers behind many chronic diseases that steal health span. So instead of chasing random hacks, we'll build a practical strategy that targets all 3. Because that's how you slow aging after 40 in a way you can actually maintain. Let's zoom in on muscle because it's one of the most underrated anti-aging tools in the US. Muscle is not just for aesthetics, it's an organ that helps you handle glucose, protect your joints, and stay independent. When muscle shrinks, your resting metabolism often downshifts and everyday movement becomes more costly. Stairs feel steeper, chores feel heavier, and recovery takes longer. That's one reason midlife weight gain can show up even when people swear they're eating the same. Less muscle also means less protection when life happens: an illness, a surgery, or a fall. It also supports healthy hormone signaling and insulin sensitivity. Here's the key message: you don't age into weakness. You often drift into it through underuse, and the body can rebuild. Studies show strength training in your 40s, 50s, and beyond is one of the most reliable ways to slow functional aging and protect your future self. For midlife longevity, strength training is non-negotiable, but it should be simple, safe, and repeatable. 2 to 4 sessions per week is enough to preserve muscle and bone, improve posture, and reduce injury risk. Build workouts around basic patterns: a squat, a hinge, a push, a pull, and a carry. Start lighter than you think you need. Focus on control and range of motion, and progress gradually over months. A good rule is to stop with 1 or 2 reps and reserve most sets. The goal is not exhaustion, the goal is adaptation. If you're new, even 20 to 30 minutes twice a week can shift your trajectory. Pair strength with daily walking, and you create a strong anti-aging signal for metabolism and joints. And if you have joint pain, medical conditions, or you're restarting after years away, this is where a qualified coach or physical therapist can help you train safely and confidently. Now let's talk about the midlife metabolism shift, especially belly fat. Visceral fat, the kind stored deeper around the abdomen, is metabolically active. It releases inflammatory signals and is strongly linked with insulin resistance, which raises risk for type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, and heart disease. That's why aging after 40 often shows up as changes in waistline, energy, and cravings, sometimes even when weight hasn't changed much. Many clinicians also use waist to height as a quick risk signal. Here's the reframe. The goal isn't chasing a perfect number on the scale. The goal is improving metabolic health. When blood sugar becomes steadier, the body often becomes easier to manage. And the most powerful tools are not complicated. Build muscle, move after meals, protect sleep, and reduce ultra-processed foods that spike glucose and appetite. In a moment, I'll show you a simple habit that targets this directly, starting today. Midlife nutrition works best when it's structured, not extreme. After 40, protein becomes more important because muscles respond less to small doses. Aim for a quality protein source at each meal. Fiber-rich plants matter because they flatten blood sugar curves and support the gut microbiome, which influences inflammation and appetite signals. And ultra-processed foods, especially sugary drinks and refined snacks, tend to drive bigger glucose spikes and stronger cravings. A practical plate for longevity looks like this: protein and vegetables first, healthy fats for satisfaction, and carbs that earn their place. Beans, fruit, oats, or potatoes, especially around activity. You don't have to be perfect. You just need a default pattern you can repeat on busy days, starting with breakfast and dinner. Now, here's the daily habit I promised, because it's one of the fastest ways to reduce blood sugar spikes after meals. The habit is a short walk after meals. Studies show that moving your body for even 10 minutes after lunch or dinner helps muscles absorb glucose with less insulin. Physiologically, active muscle acts like a sponge for circulating sugar, which means smaller blood sugar spikes and less inflammatory signaling. People often notice better afternoon energy and fewer cravings later at night. This is one of the most realistic longevity habits for American life because it doesn't require a gym. A loop around the block, a walk through a mall, a hallway lap at work, or pacing during a phone call. Keep it easy at first. Consistency matters more than intensity. Then stack it with strength training a few times a week, and you're addressing midlife aging at its metabolic roots. If your energy has dropped in midlife, mitochondria are part of the story. Mitochondria are the tiny engines inside your cells that turn food and oxygen into usable energy. With age, and especially with inactivity and poor sleep, they can become less efficient, which feels like a shorter battery. But mitochondria respond to training. A baseline of steady aerobic movement, sometimes called Zone 2 style effort, teaches your body to use oxygen efficiently and improves metabolic flexibility. You don't need fancy devices. Use the talk test. During the workout, you can speak in full sentences, but you wouldn't want to sing. Start with 20 minutes and build gradually. Do this 2 or 3 times per week, and stamina often improves. Then, when you layer in strength training, your body becomes both stronger and more efficient. 2 traits tightly linked to longevity. Alongside steady movement, there's a fitness marker that predicts long-term health. Aerobic capacity, often discussed as VO2 max. It reflects how well your heart, lungs, and blood vessels deliver oxygen during effort. The good news is it's trainable in midlife and you don't need marathon training. One-time efficient method is intervals, short bursts of higher effort followed by recovery. After a warm-up, walk faster or uphill for 30 to 60 seconds, then go easy for 90 seconds, repeated 4 to 8 times. It should feel challenging but controlled, not reckless. Over weeks, intervals can raise fitness capacity and improve blood pressure response. making daily life feel easier. If you have chest pain, dizziness, uncontrolled blood pressure, or major medical conditions, check with your clinician or GP first. But for many adults, this is a powerful way to slow aging after 40 with limited time. Now, let's connect this to the most overlooked longevity lever: sleep. Sleep and aging are tightly connected, and after 40, sleep often becomes lighter and more fragmented. Even if you get enough hours, poor quality sleep can raise cortisol, worsen insulin resistance, and increase inflammation. That's why sleep problems can make midlife weight gain and fatigue feel inevitable. Here's a practical sleep foundation. Keep a consistent wake time. Get bright outdoor light in the first hour of the day, and dim your evenings. Reduce screen brightness and strong overhead lights at night. Keep the bedroom cool and make the room as dark as possible. These steps train your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that controls melatonin and cortisol timing. When sleep improves, cravings often drop, workouts feel easier, and mood stabilizes. For many people, protecting sleep is the highest return anti-aging investment they can make. Sleep matters for the brain in a very specific way. During deep sleep, your brain shifts into a maintenance mode that supports memory consolidation and clears metabolic waste. That's one reason chronic poor sleep is associated with worse cognitive outcomes over time. So, if your goal is longevity with mental clarity, treat sleep like brain care. Also, a quick but important note. In midlife, sleep apnea becomes more common, and it's often missed. If you snore loudly, wake unrefreshed, have morning headaches, or feel unusually sleepy during the day, it's worth discussing with a healthcare professional. Sleep apnea can raise blood pressure and strain the heart, and treating it can be life-changing. Now we're going to tackle another major accelerator of midlife aging: chronic stress. Midlife is often peak responsibility: careers, family, aging parents, finances, and not enough recovery time. Chronic stress keeps your nervous system in a low-level fight-or-flight state. Biologically, that means higher cortisol, lighter sleep, higher blood sugar, and more inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging. The point isn't to eliminate stress, that's unrealistic. The goal is to improve recovery so stress doesn't become your default physiology. That's why the best longevity plans include decompression the way they include exercise. Think of recovery as training, not weakness, because recovery is what allows your body to rebuild. Next, here's a simple 60-second reset that nudges your nervous system toward calm. Here's a 60-second reset you can use anywhere. Slow your breathing and lengthen the exhale. When the exhale is longer, your body receives a signal of safety, supporting the parasympathetic nervous system. Try this. Inhale gently through the nose for about 4 seconds, then exhale slowly for 6 to 8 seconds. Repeat 5 or 6 times. You're not trying to think positive. You're changing physiology. People often notice lower shoulder tension, a calmer heart rhythm, and better control over cravings, because stress drives appetite. Use this before meals to reduce rushed eating, and before bed to quiet mental noise. Cardiovascular aging is one of the biggest reasons midlife matters. Blood vessels can stiffen over time, and blood pressure can rise quietly, often with no symptoms. That's why hypertension is sometimes called the silent risk. The strategy isn't complicated, but it is consistent. Strength training to support vascular function, regular aerobic movement to condition the heart, and nutrition that minimizes ultra-processed, sodium-heavy foods while emphasizing potassium-rich whole foods. Sleep matters here too. Poor sleep raises blood pressure and worsens inflammation. If you're in your 40s or 50s, make blood pressure a metric you actually know, not something you guess. Ask for it at routine visits. Use a validated home cuff if needed and track trends over time. Small reductions, just a few points, can meaningfully reduce long-term risk. And when you protect blood vessels, you're also protecting the brain, because the brain depends on healthy circulation every minute of your life. 2 common midlife accelerators are easy to underestimate: alcohol and ultra-processed foods. After 40, alcohol often disrupts sleep architecture, even if it helps you fall asleep faster. It can raise resting heart rate, reduce deep sleep, and worsen recovery the next day. Ultra-processed foods push the other direction too. They drive rapid blood sugar swings, stronger cravings, and higher inflammation over time. This doesn't require perfection. A high-impact experiment works. For 2 weeks, reduce alcohol frequency, especially on weeknights, and shift snacks toward whole food options like fruit, yogurt, nuts, or leftovers with protein. Watch what happens to sleep, energy, and appetite. Most people are surprised by how quickly the body responds. In midlife, the win is not being strict. The win is choosing changes with a high return on effort, habits that make the rest of your plan easier. Next, we'll address a physical pain point that quietly ages people fast: stiffness and loss of mobility. Midlife aging often shows up as joint stiffness, reduced mobility, and aches that make people move less. When movement feels uncomfortable, the body adapts by getting even stiffer, and the cycle accelerates. The antidote is daily, gentle range of motion. Small doses that remind the nervous system movement is safe. A simple 5-minute mobility habit can protect your ability to walk, squat, reach overhead, and get up off the floor. Skills that strongly predict independence later. Focus on hips, ankles, thoracic spine, and shoulders. Pair mobility with strength training, so joints are supported by strong tissue, not just flexibility. If pain is sharp, persistent, or worsening, don't push through blindly. Get it assessed. But for most people, the combination of mobility plus strength is one of the fastest ways to feel younger in the body. Less stiffness, better posture, and more confidence moving through daily life. Here's a longevity factor most people don't expect: social connection and purpose. Humans are social biology. When you feel supported, stress reactivity tends to be lower, sleep tends to be better, and healthy habits stick more easily. In contrast, chronic loneliness is linked with higher stress load and worse long-term outcomes. This doesn't mean you need a huge friend group. It means you need real connection. A weekly walk with a friend, a class, a community group, a standing phone call, or shared meals. Purpose matters too. When people have a reason to protect their health, family, work they value, goals they care about, habits become identity, not chores. So as you build your midlife reset, don't only optimize food and workouts. Optimize your environment. Make the healthy choice the easy choice by building it into your routine and relationships. Let's turn this into a practical 4-week midlife reset. Week 1. Lock a consistent wake time and add a 10-minute post-meal walk once a day. Week 2. Add 2 full-body strength sessions. Short, simple, and repeatable. Week 3. Add 2 steady aerobic sessions using the talk test, plus 1 brief interval session if appropriate for your health status. Week 4. Refine nutrition. Protein at each meal. More fiber-rich plants and fewer ultra-processed snacks and sugary drinks. Throughout all 4 weeks, protect sleep with darker nights and morning light, and use the 60-second breathing reset during stressful moments. This is not a perfection challenge, it's a systems upgrade. Your goal is a week that makes healthy aging automatic. Steadier energy, fewer cravings, improved mood, and better recovery. Track what matters: blood pressure, waist, strength, and sleep consistency, and celebrate trend lines, not day-to-day noise. Small improvements that last are what change the trajectory of aging after 40. Midlife aging accelerates, but decline is not inevitable. After 40, the basics become powerful. Strength training preserves the engine. Aerobic capacity protects the heart. Protein and fiber stabilize metabolism. Sleep repairs the brain and lowers inflammation. And stress recovery prevents your body from living in survival mode. You don't need 10 perfect habits. Start with 1 high-return move this week. Post-meal walking or 2 strength sessions, and build from there. If you're watching from the US, the UK, or anywhere in Europe, the principles are the same, even if the routines look different. If this helped, subscribe for more science-based longevity guidance. And in the next video, we'll cover the everyday habits that silently accelerate aging after 40, things people do without realizing the cost, and the exact replacements that make healthy aging feel simple, not stressful.